I'm driving home from probation. So, like, what happened is my probation officer is super furious at me about what happened, like, with me getting gas and everything. And she's, like, and she's mad because I told her, like, I'm thinking about going to prison, just taking the felony, because, like, I know what you guys are concerned about. Like, you don't want me to have a gun. Like, you're like, that's why you guys aren't going to let me off probation, even though I haven't broken the law. Like, I think that's fine. Like, you guys could give me the felony, and, like, but how much prison time do I need to do? Like, if I do just a little prison time, it's not a big deal. And she's absolutely furious because, like, this is my fault that this all happened. And I explained to her, like, I'm a comedian. Like the judge is telling me I can't make jokes on the internet anymore. Like my job, like, is, like, making jokes about Donald Trump all day. And the judge said, like, I can't talk about Trump or Kamala Harris. And she says, like, you're not a comedian. Like, you're, like, I've seen your page. You're not a comedian. And I said, like, I'm, like, the funniest person alive. And she said, like, you have delusions of, well, I think she had grandioseness or something. Like, she said something about being grandioso, like, something like that. Like, not delusions of grandeur. Like, she didn't mention delusions. And, like, I said, well, like, if you go to my page, there are, like, 100 girls dressed for Christmas, and I showed her a picture. She's like, that's disgusting. Like, you're like, she was, like, acting like I showed her porn. And I was like, well, I have more pictures where they're not doing porn. And so I showed her this other girl with the Santa Claus. She's like, why does this matter? I was like, well, I always, like I said, I always joke that I'm, like, a clone of Santa Claus on the internet. Like, it's, like, one of my jokes. Like, all these girls are, like, trying to show their support for me because they know I have no right to trial and stuff like that. They know that, like, my communications are censored. And she's like, if you were famous, like, you would have money. Like, you can't get a job. And that's the problem, is you can't get a job. And I said, well, I'm trying. Like, I said, like, I was hoping to actually ask you to print out resumes for me. And she said, well, we don't print out resumes for you. Like, I don't do that. And I said, that's fine. Like, I'll figure out how to print resumes. And she said, well, you need to bring in your resume next week to show me your resume, to show me that that's what you're working on, to prove that you're working on resumes. And I said, that's fine. Like, I'll definitely bring in my resume. And, like, but, like, she was pretty furious at me about, like getting my house raided. And so, like, that's kind of the situation. Like, I've got to go figure out, like, my legal situation. Like, my brother sent a mover over to grab his stuff. Like, but he didn't have a key to the house, so I have no key to my house. But, like, I got him to move my table in, so, like, I have a table in my living room again, and, like, we carried a couch in, so, like I think, like, it's all uphill from here. The problem is I don't have gas. That's one of the reasons I was thinking I had to go to prison, like, and I should just take the felonies because I don't have gas to drive back and forth to Colorado Springs, like, all the time. Like, the probation rules are you're going to Colorado Springs, like, all the time. And, like, I was like, well, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to comply with probation. She's like, well, then, like, it sounds like we're, like, it felt like I was getting arrested, and then I didn't get arrested. So it was actually a pretty good meeting. Like, I think it went fine.